Oh, brother.
Buenos nachos, mi amigos. What's going on? What's up, duties and dudiettes? As you guys are coming in here, it'd be greatly appreciated if you could smash that like button. Honestly, it just helps me out with the algorithm gods that control my life. Well, those gods and the market gods, but one of them, we can't switch their mind. The market gods, they're made up. But the algorithm gods on both Rumble and YouTube that run parts of my financial life, we can help that out by you guys absolutely smashing it. So that would be greatly appreciated as you guys are coming in. Folks, we have so much to talk about. I am as giddy as a little schoolgirl, and my main excitement is due to the fact that I am in a large position on the Russell, which is once again gapping up. So yesterday at its peak, it was almost at $25,000 worth of profit. Yes, folks, $25,000. Absolutely insane. It ended the day around 20,000 roughly. So it kind of gave a little bit back. But based on where we open today, I think it should be a glorious open to the world's largest casino. So that's my main excitement. So I really want to get into that. I want to watch that. I need to make some sort of decision because your boy is carrying quite a bit of weight in the position, and it might be getting near that level where it might be a little bit smarter than not to take a little bit off the table, realize something here or there. So I want to get into that. I want to talk about that. I'm very excited about that. I've been thinking about that basically since I don't know, whenever I got up 5 or 6 in the morning. So I want to get into all that, but I also recognize that there's a lot to talk about. So taking a step back, we have a lot of individual companies that are reporting their earnings, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, United Health Group. So I want to chit chat about all of those. Then the overall market in general, like Jerome Powell and what he's doing. But before we get to all that, we have to talk about some of the major updates related to the political sphere, which is obviously going to have a huge impact on the economy and thus the stock market. For those of you who have been sleeping under a rock, you might have missed the fact that, well, I'm assuming that Trump's going to win at this point because we had one guy who took a bullet and then pumped his fist and is obviously showing certain characteristics that you want of a leader, and then the other guy's brain is mashed potatoes. So I'm assuming that Trump is going to win. I mean, so is the market. It's just like the smart bet at this point. But it also then inherently means that we now know the next vice president of the United States, J.D. Vance, a senator from Ohio. So I want to talk about that. I want to get into it. I found some videos I didn't watch last night because I wanted to watch it with all of you. Get your thoughts. If I'm being completely honest, I don't know much about this J.D. Vance character. So I'm definitely going to be leaning on you folks a little bit today, just to get your thoughts, feelings, good, bad. I looked into a little bit. Like many things in politics, I found some things that I agreed with, and then I found some things that I didn't agree with. And I think that's just, I don't know, being an adult, I think that's just what it is. How do people day trade more than $10,000? What strike price and expiration to not impact the market with high leverage? That's not how markets work. If you can easily make 10,000, that also inherently means you can easily lose 10,000. What strike price and expiration to not impact the market with high leverage? I don't know what that question really means. Anytime you trade, you're impacting the market. Anything. If you're trading options, if you're trading stock, if you're trading futures, you trading is inherently an impact on the market. So I guess with that, I'm assuming you're a bit new. It seems like you need to, the next step for you, in my opinion, would be to learn a little bit about how all this stuff is truly interconnected. But it's always a risk-reward paradigm. The more risk you're taking, the more reward you could potentially get. The less risk you're taking, the less reward you could potentially get. It's always, you can't really have one without the other. There's never really a situation where you could take less risk and somehow get more reward. Those things are going to be tied at the hips. Always tied at the hips. But a little bit later on, when things get going, I'm more than happy to explain my position and everything going on there. Hang on. Is that better? Someone just said that my mic is low. Hang on. Hello. Maybe I just need to be closer. All right. Cool bean. So let's get rocking. First things first. Shout out to Apex. They are today's stream sponsor. This is the sim-defunded prop trading that I use. So basically, you sign up, you pay a small fee. Right now, it's about $33. You take a test. If you do well on the test, then they have a traded funding account for you. It's called a PA account, a personal account or performance account, something with that. Something with the acronym PA. I think it's a performance account. If you trade well on the PA account, you can take out real money per account, and you can have 20 trading accounts. So per trading account under your overall user account, you could have 20 of those per individual trading account. The first $25,000 of profit is yours. And then after that, it's a 90-10 split with the company. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. If you click on that link and use the coupon code GOONY, you will get 80% off. The full fee, which they really never charge, is $167. If you use that code GOONY, you will get 80% off. And I traded the retail sales report this morning. I'll show you how that went. And then in normal market hours when the cash session opens, I should be trading once again, and we could talk about it at that point. I'll answer any of your questions. And if I don't know the answer, I'll try to get the answer for you. But check it out. I mean, I've been having a blast with it. This calendar year alone, I've taken out $100,000 from Apex. As of the last payout period, I officially, across this calendar year, $100,000. So I get it. If you look into this world of prop trading, there are some companies, I don't want to hide it from you, that have blown up, that have been a scam. Thus far, I've seen many people accuse Apex of being a scam. Folks, all I can tell you about is my personal experience. And my personal experience is this calendar year alone, they've paid me $100,000. Those are the payout requests that were approved and are currently sitting in my bank account. So that's my personal experience with it. You might have a better experience. You might have a worse experience. I have no idea. I'm just here to tell you that it is not only working for me, but it is greatly working for me. All right, let's get into all of the craziness. Now, first of all, I do want to let you know that the market hit an all-time high yesterday of 564.84, and right now a little bit in pre-market trading, it's a bit higher. We did get retail sales this morning. So in pre-market trading, the S&P 500 ETF is up 0.2%, the Qs are up 0.25, and this is what I'm most excited about is the Russell. The Russell 2000, the small cap sector, gaining 1.9% yesterday, up an additional percent in pre-market trading. You all know that my first goal was 220. followed by 225, followed by the upside gap fill around 228, but I'll get into those details in a little bit. Stock futures rise slightly following a record-setting session for the Dow. Once again, it kind of is picking up even more now because of retail sales. You can see right here at 8:30 where my cursor is, that's exactly where the SPY, the Qs, and the Russell all popped, all on better than expected retail sales. So we'll be going over that in a jiffy. But before we do, I want to give you a quick update, a quick coverage of all the craziness that just happened at day one of the RNC. USA. Pretty cool. Obviously, he got a standing ovation when he showed up. You could see kind of the, I guess, bandage or whatever have you on his ear of where the bullet had grazed him. But with the chance, I guess, USA, obviously he was getting a bit emotional there because of the outpouring of support beyond the world of politics. Remember, there was an attempt on this dude's life. So the fact that so many people were there to support him, obviously, I think any human would be like, hey, oh, no, that's pretty awesome. You are the only YouTuber who live streams do not display in my home grid feed. I've always got to go to your channel. YouTube is Satan. That's crazy. I don't know why it doesn't come up. Especially if you're commonly watching them, it feels like it should be presented to you. Yeah, no, I don't know. YouTube has a lot of problems. I mean, they've terminated my channels 3 separate times. We are definitely in an uphill battle. I mean, you could ask my producer about it, but like the chance of our stuff actively being promoted is slim to freaking none. It is crazy whatever's going on there. Anyway, back to this. The RNC, obviously Trump showed up. It was his first public appearance ever since what went down on Saturday. And not only was that a big deal and obviously an outpouring support, but we also found out who the VP pick is, J.D. Vance of Ohio. But first, let's watch this really quick if this is ever going to load. As you can see, I have a gazillion tabs open. So yeah, we're not going to watch that one. Let's just keep the show rolling. Trump lauded at Republican convention, his first public appearance since the assassination attempt. And once again, people loving it. The other big news of the fact that, hey, he was there, he was strong, he was showing a lot of characteristics of a leader is J.D. Vance. Obviously, I know this was a joke, but I just thought it was funny. I thought it was actually particularly funny. And this is the Greg account on Twitter, which is just a notorious comedian. But overall, I just want to talk about maybe something that other people aren't really talking about. Someone always knows. So if you look at the time that this was posted at 12:33. And the chances of the J.D. Vance being the Republican nominee just started spiking. Someone's always in on the know, folks. Always, always, always. And this was a couple hours before the actual announcement. And if you look at the poly market, it just kept going and going and going. And the main tip that I think people were trading off of related to this was that they were looking at maybe the top 10 people who even had a chance of being the VP. And they were just kind of watching them. And then out of nowhere, J.D. Vance, there was like just a motorcade that showed up at his house and picked him up. And everyone's like, oh, he's now the guy. Once again, I don't really have any like hardcore thoughts on him because I just don't know much about him. I did a little bit of research last night just to familiarize myself with it, but I'm not some sort of like J.D. Vance expert or anything like that. As I alluded to at the start of today's show, I found some things that I agree with. I really, really like his stance on crypto. I think that's awesome. He's very, very crypto forward, and I'll be letting you know what's currently in his portfolio. And then there's a couple other things, I guess, like social related things that I'm not on board with. I'm not what I don't really identify as the most religious person in the world. He has some particular hard stances on abortion that I just straight up don't agree with. But then there's other social issues where he basically endlessly mocks DEI, which I do agree with. But folks, that's what being an adult is. There's no way on God's green earth that you talk to someone else and you're like, yes, I agree 100% with all of your opinions. It's, do you agree with most? Do you only agree with minimal? I seemingly, from the research I found, I agree with a lot what he says, yes, but there's also things that I'm just like not 100% on board with. But that's what just creating your own opinion is. Like, that's your own life experience, that's your own research. That's just how this stuff is gonna roll. I want to reveal to you JD Vance's portfolio. You know, the guy who is now most likely going to become the next vice president of the United States. He's big into the world of tech. As you can see, he has QQQ, which is the ETF for the NASDAQ 100. Then he's also in Bitcoin. In fact, he's a massive, massive, massive supporter of Bitcoin. And then to round out his top 3 holdings, gold. This guy is just a classic core investor, and he has a little bit of pizzazz on the crypto front, which I'm a huge, huge fan of. But yes, that is JD Vance's portfolio as of now. Of course, whenever anything, before we get into this one of the funniest ones I saw was from Babylon Bee. I couldn't find it this morning, but I'm sure some of you had seen it. Was they're like, even before it was announced, they're like, what was the line of just so many people out there? They're like, X amount of people are prepared to step forward regardless of who the VP is, basically to like speak ill against him, accuse him of something that probably he didn't do. But anyway, not only was that funny on the Babylon Bees part, which they're always hilarious, of course you have to give it over to mainstream media, which whenever given any opportunity, you know they're going to fumble the ball. Let me make sure the volume is up.
You know, part of the reason that J.D. Vance matters isn't for these kind of short-term electoral calculations. He matters because of what he means to the Republican Party long-term. This is cementing a kind of nationalism. Yeah. Now, Trump, to your point, I agree with you, he's an instinctive, impulsive, intuitive nationalist. J.D. Vance is an ideological nationalist. That's a much more dangerous virus because he can polish this stuff and make it seem palatable to people. He can sell this stuff to Silicon Valley. He can sell this stuff other places. And what it does is it locks the Republican Party on a pathway that I think is dangerous for the world. Again, the Ukrainians are now in deep trouble. NATO is now in deep trouble. Trump he could have gone with a Nikki Haley and signal to the world, hey, listen, I got to give stuff to my base, but I'm not going to abandon the world. This pick is a horror on the world stage. So J.D. Vance matters because Donald Trump is pointing the Republican Party in a very scary direction for the long term.
You know what I think is interesting about this? Why is media, this is not a hypothetical, this is a real question for all of you. Why is the media somehow always supportive of people that want to continue to get us into war and conflict? Nikki Haley is a war hawk. She was broke and then joined the boards of many defense contracting companies and then goes back into the political realm and makes sure they get all these contracts, and they benefit off of war, they benefit off of conflict, they benefit off of loss of life. And right there, even this, CNN loves Nikki Haley. They much would have preferred that. And now they're speaking about us getting out of Ukraine as if it's a bad thing. Folks, did you know on average, if you average it out, ever since this has started, we've given Ukraine over $200 million a day. A day is the average we have given them. $200 million a day. More than that. They're just pissing away our money. We live in this day and age where apparently they're finding $200 million per day under the couch, but then we can't improve our own education system. We can't help our homeless. We can't help our vets. We can't secure our southern border. We can't fix our fucking infrastructure. Are you kidding me? They're more than happy to gouge the average tax-paying person. And when they're like, okay, I'm cool to pay taxes, but can we improve any of the things I just listed? They're like, no. Like, and they're going to fight tooth and nail. They would rather blow up Social Security in our face to ensure future generations don't get it. But then when it comes to other conflicts that at first we were all hoorah, we're going to support it. But as more information came out, basically just screamed every single aspect of money laundering possible. They're like, we got all the money. We got all the money that we're going to give to someone. It just doesn't make sense. It absolutely doesn't make sense, especially when as a nation, we are facing financial pressure from inflation. Look at what's going on with housing. Like right now, we see it. This isn't like a made up thing. We have the quantitative measures that the average family, the average person, their cushion of money saved is dwindling rapidly. We're seeing delinquency spike. We're seeing bankruptcies for small and medium businesses also spike. We're seeing a lot of like concerning economic signs. And they're like, all right, we're going to punt all of this money away and we're going to keep doing it and doing it and doing it, even when there isn't general support at all. Like, and I'm not even saying left versus right. If you polled everyone right now, the financial support of what's going on, it just does not have nationwide appeal. And then on top of that, when we hear these stories of like the Pentagon, the military just misplacing money, they're like, oh yeah, we don't know. I mean, these people who are more than happy to probe our asshole if we like are Venmoing $600 and then they can misplace billions of dollars and they're like, yeah, no, that's fine. Don't worry about that. They're more than happy to like literally fine you if you are like, oh, whoa, you had too good of a lemonade stand this summer and that's going to be a big problem. But then when they misplace literally billions of dollars, like, nah, that's, what's billions of dollars with friends? It's just so, I don't know if it's egregiously corrupt or if the people at the head of this are just so incredibly stupid, or is it just a combo of the both? Do we just have dumbass people who also have some sort of personality traits that they just need to be as corrupt and money hungry and power hungry as could possibly be? Anyway, I know I'm going off on a bit of a diatribe there, but I just think it's really, really interesting of how media loves anyone who pushes conflict. Doesn't matter if it's left or right. They're like, yes, we need to be in everyone's fucking business 100% of the time. And then I'm bringing this up because that is Nikki Haley. And then on the other side, JD Vance is outspoken of not only pulling out of Ukraine, not supporting Ukraine, but pulling out of a lot of conflict, which I don't know if all of a sudden we should like not be involved in anything, because of course there are egregious things that happen. And obviously as the global leader, the US needs to show some sort of backbone in certain circumstances. So like I would probably fall more in the middle, but right now we're on one extreme where if there's something going on, if there's a bullet fired, the US is like, yo, we gotta be there. We gotta fucking be there, brother. And that just doesn't make sense. And I think it's hilarious that it's pissing CNN off. The other big news relates to our boy Elon Musk. The world's most powerful, not really, the world's most wealthy and also very powerful person has officially thrown his hat in the ring of support for Donald J. Trump. Elon Musk has said he is committing to around $45 million a month to a new pro-Trump super PAC. Other backers of America PAC, that's the name of the super PAC, include Palantir Technologies co-founder Joe Lonsdale, I believe is how you say it, and the Winklevoss twins from the whole social network Facebook thing, and now they run Gemini. But my point is they have big backers, and there's going to be a lot of dinero, a lot of bread going towards Donald Trump literally every single week. I mean, this is one of the biggest PACs ever made. Biden says time to put Trump in bullseye remark was a mistake. No shit, Sherlock, and doubles down on his re-election bid. Now turning over to NBC. We haven't spoken about this in like about a week, so I feel like it's kind of important. We're going to come back to this because we don't exactly have the time now until the market opens. But even the media is stabbing Biden in the back. When you have MSNBC, NBC, and CNN all starting to like kind of call out some of the egregious things that many of us have been echoing for a while about Biden, he's lost all momentum. He was almost at zero momentum. And now, ever since the events of this weekend and some of these interviews coming out, where even his own supporters, like in terms of the media power, even when they're questioning him, they're stabbing the dude in the back. It's a done deal. I just thought it was a little funny here. Secret Service director rejects calls to resign after Trump assassination attempt. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. How do you not resign after one of the biggest mess ups ever? The Secret Service is undergoing pressure to explain what went wrong in the days and hours before an attempted assassination on Donald Trump at the Pennsylvania rally. The Secret Service says it is not substantially changing its security plan for the Republican National Convention in Wisconsin. The FBI is conducting its own investigation into the rally shooting, and several members of Congress have called for hearings and probes. Of course, there should be. Absolutely should be. All right, and this was just a little bit of a joke, but here, let me turn the volume down a little bit. They're pointing out now, we all saw that video of the one Secret Service agent who people are like coining Melissa McCarthy, who could not holster her gun. And they're like, all right, maybe we should get the DEI out of the world of the Secret Service. And they're pointing out how his new protection is exclusively men. Just a little bit funny. Now, switching it over to the market at 8:30 this morning, we got retail sales. The forecast was a drop of 0.3% for month over month. In core, they were looking for an increase of 0.1. Both of them beat. You can see 0 versus a drop of 0.3 and 0.4 versus an expectation of 0.1. On that news, when it came out at 8:30, right here, you could see the SPY, the Qs, and the Russell all popped. So it looks like we're heading in on a pretty decent bullish day thus far. The big thing going on right now, and remember everything, I think it was a true change in the economy, a true change in the market based on those inflation reports last week. That CPI report on Thursday, I believe, is going to be a watershed moment in terms of monetary policy. Powell says U.S. data offers confidence that inflation is on the path towards 2%. Remember, he said multiple times that they want to start cutting before we hit 2. It's not like you have to hit 2 and then they start cutting. It's kind of like a giant ship coming in on the water. As you're getting that momentum, you need to turn the engines off a little bit earlier so you don't crash into land. Powell indicates Fed won't wait until inflation is down to 2% before cutting. So obviously a golden question right now is, when are we going to get the first cut? Not July. As of now, there's a 91% chance that we stay at 5.25%, which is where we're at right now at the July 31st meeting. But when you get to September, there's now a 93% chance that we have a cut, almost a 7% chance that we get a 50 bips cut. And as of now, the market is saying a 0% shot of staying at where we're currently at. So it's probably going to be September. September 18th is when we're probably going to get the first cut. Don't forget that we're also in earnings season. Bank of America, United Health Group, Morgan Stanley, Charles Schwab, and PNC all reported this morning. Later on this week, we have more financial players, a couple tech players such as Netflix. But really, if you're more of interested in the tech side of things, you're going to be very interested in what's coming up for over the next 2 weeks. This one, like I said, a lot more finance heavy. Anyway, Bank of America tops estimates on better than expected investment banking. Morgan Stanley beats estimates on better than expecting trading and investment banking. And then United Health profit beats expectations as cost woes persist. So obviously this is more of the healthcare. If you want to see the healthcare sector, look at XLV. And if you want to see more of the financial sector, look at XLF. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter, mattkohrs.locals.com. I break down everything that happened in the previous week, what I'm looking forward in the upcoming week. I give you all the major macroeconomic events. We already had retail sales this morning. So the other thing today is the Fed governor will be speaking at 2:45. Obviously, I give you the earnings, then I highlight the ones that I think you're going to care about the most. And arguably, most importantly, I give you the seasonality of each individual day. Today, Tuesday, July 16th, is a bit more bearish. If you look at the past 25 years worth of data, this would be your hypothetical equity curve. If you bought at open and sold at close on the S&P 500 futures market every single day, you could see that there's a generic downtrend. Is that a guarantee for today? No, because the bulls still win 40% of the time. 2 out of 5 times they still win. It's just that when the bears do win, the bears win with greater size. And on top of that, I give you an update on Piper. Speaking of Piper, here, oops, I forgot something there. Looks like there was a bit of a typo. My apology for that. Let's just fix that in real time. That's so embarrassing. That's so embarrassing. All right, let's just put that back out there. No one pointed out the typo to me. Anyway, here's the update from yesterday. I ended up making $1,150 before fees. Piper had a bullish signal at 10:05 right here. Recommended a put credit spread SPY 561, Qs 495. If you had taken that play, this is all hypothetical because it kind of depends on your account and whatnot. The minimum sizing of 156 and 168, so in totality 324 to take that would have returned $76. So you could scale this up at your heart's desire per $324 in your account, and it would have returned 76. I ended up having a bit of a wild day. I liked my first trade a lot. Then I got bored and did trade 2 and 3, and to dig myself out of these stupid holes, I had to do some wild stuff with my final trade of the day. So my first trade was good of 1.1K, then I lost 2, then I lost 2, and then the final trade to bring me back into the green on the day was a gain of 4,000. It nets out to $1,150 before fees, and with my fees, it was around $750. Regardless, that would have paid for more than 2 years of access to the Goonie Discord. So if you want to learn more about Piper Signal, if you want to get my personal trades, if you want to get more into the world of systematic trading on the stuff that I do with Apex, if you want all the previous lectures, all of that stuff you can get for free by signing up if you use the code Goonie. You could be a premium member for free. You can join the Discord. You could trade with me on a daily basis for free for using the code Goonie. Just sign up for Locals, MattKohrs@locals.com. It's in the description of the video. Make sure that code Goonie is applied and you'll be a supporter. Once you're a supporter, you'll have access to the Discord. And obviously today, as we're about to see, what time is it? Oh, I only have 10 seconds. All right. So let's see what happens here. I am particularly excited in my play on the Russell because right here, when things concluded yesterday, I was up about 20 grand. I'm curious where this is going to open. It concluded at $4.32, and it looks like it just opened up to $5, which should be another 7 grand for me. Come on, update. I can see it over here that it's 540. Come on, update. Faster. There we go. Officially up $28.6 thousand. Folks, $28.6 thousand, up 233%. That's how you start the day. That you guys saw me make this trade. You heard all of my reasoning. I discussed it in detail in the Discord. This was not some hidden thing like that whatsoever. You literally saw me make the trade. You heard my breakdown all in real time. I've streamed 100% of this trade to you. The whole thing. It's all over Locals. It's endlessly discussed in the Discord of what I'm doing, how I'm managing it, all of that. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you saw, this wasn't a Monday morning quarterbacking thing where I was like, oh, like maybe this, and then all of a sudden I'm in the play and like it goes well, and then if it doesn't, I like hide it from you. You saw me thinking about the play. You saw my reasoning for the play. You saw me get into the play, and now you see it per day, the setup and how I'm managing it. I don't know how to make it more painfully obvious to all of you of what's going on in that. And if that in itself doesn't show you the value of the Discord, which you can be in for free, I don't know. It's up 28 grand. You can be in, now it's up 29 grand. We might be hitting 30 grand soon. I have no fucking clue. But if that's not what says, oh, wow, maybe this guy knows what he's talking about, maybe I should just try out the Discord for free for a month and see if you get any value of it. I don't know what else to do. But in real time, you're seeing $29,000 right there. Like, I don't know how to make it more obvious. In a little bit, around 10 a.m., I'm going to start trading on some Apex stuff. So once again, if you want to be in the Discord, the website looks like this, MattKohrs.locals.com. My mod will drop it in chat. If you put in that code Goonie and hit subscribe, your first month will be free. And this is going. Is it at 30 yet? It has to be at 30, right? I just want to see it say $30,000. I just want to see it say $30,000. Looks like it is gearing up to be my best trade of the year. I actually thought the previous trade was going to be my best trade of the year, but it looks like this one, which was a little bit of a surprise. I'm just, look at this. This account was funded with 30 grand, and now it's almost at 75. It's at 73.8, up so far 10 grand on the day. I had a new position on these Qs, which it looks like I'm slightly down on. I'm down about 154, and then this other position I'm up about 30K. So we're gonna see how that goes. Do I have any plans to get out today? Maybe. It kind of depends. It's not it's obviously not a day trade. So when I see movement like this, like just on the minute chart, I don't take I use this time frame if I'm day trading, not if I'm swing trading. If I'm swing trading, I'm using things like the 30-minute, the 2-hour, the 4-hour, and mostly the daily. So when I see this go up, when I see this go down, it doesn't really impact it. And I get it. You guys watching it, you're going to be like, oh, take the money, do something. It's like, well, you guys have been telling me to take the money for a while now. So it kind of proves that when you're using the incorrect time frame to make decisions, like the trade is a swing trade. I care about the daily chart. If I care about anything on IWM, it's this chart right here. I don't give a shit about what's going on in the minute. I care about the daily. Are the highs getting higher? Are the lows getting higher? It is a swing trade. I intentionally bought August right here. August 16th is the expiration date. August 16th. I have a ton of time. I could have a red day. I could have a red hour. It is what it is. I intentionally bought myself time because I knew it was a swing play. Now, obviously, with that being said, I'm a human and I would love for it to keep going up and up and up. Of course, I want that to happen. But sometimes you have to divorce yourself from like the little minute to minute movement. You guys know I want to see 220. You know, I want to see 225. So 220 is the strike. 225, I think, is going to be a key psychological level. And then 228.54 is an upside gap fill. So I like 220. I like 225. I like 228.54. That's what I like in it. So right now, I'm not at any of these levels. The trend is still in my favor. So I have no reason to get out because neither my profit nor my risk has been hit. So if you're just getting out of a play because like, oh, wow, green, and you should take green. Well, hang on. Don't forget, you need to have good trades, good enough trades to pay off your losing trades. Folks, I'm going to be about a 50-50 trader. So that means if I'm about a 50-50 trader, that means when I win, I need to be right at least 2x the size to those losers to pay them all off. Remember, you have to think of your portfolio as a whole, not as this like individual, not like individual trades, if that makes sense. Anyway, I forgot to do it. Dingity ding ding ding. The world's largest casino is now open. Best of luck to all. Play responsibly. If not, have fun. What are we? Officially crossed 30,000. Officially crossed 30,000, up 255%. Folks, I'm the best trader ever. I don't know what you want me to say. I don't know what I can say. I don't know what I can do to make it. If there were a person on this planet who can have a legitimate battle with market gods, it would be me. If there is a person, a human, a Homo sapien on this planet who had a shot of going toe to toe with the market gods who run this universe, it would be me. It would 100% be me. I see people excited about GME. I know that people were getting into calls on it. What's going on with it today? It's up 5%. Why do people get excited about this kind of stuff? Like it's not even breaking out. Not long ago it was at 24. Now it's at 28. Do you know how many people are trapped here? Whenever I see this, I think the FOMO and the excitement, it just traps more people in this that don't know what they're doing. I don't know. Like, I'll cover it. If you're in it, I want it to do well for you. But you also have to understand on my side of it, it's a little bit depressing just because I know how many people are now going to chase it. They don't know how to handle the situation and they're going to get absolutely steamrolled. So I hope you're being smart. I hope you aren't some dumbass just diamond handing it. I hope you're in it with an actual legitimate trading plan, protecting your risk. And I hope you make a lot of money. But I know there's a lot of people who they're chasing. They're already, instead of buying it when it was cheap, they're now buying it on a relative basis when it's more expensive. So now they're in at a higher cost and they're going to end up, even if it explodes, they're not going to take their money in time. So it's a bit depressive because of how many people are never, ever learning their lesson. Now, obviously, I hope you're the other way. I hope you're a person, you're like, nope, I have a perfect trading plan. I hope it works out for you. I hope you make a butt ton of money. I'm not against people making money here. It just makes me a bit sad because I think the type of people who are attracted to these types of plays are uniquely not like their mental attitude and their framework for what the market is and it isn't is actually like kind of uniquely bad for the market to be successful. I think it's almost the antithesis of what they have to be successful. There's so many people, I see it all over my timeline of just people getting in and ever refusing to get out. And what's the point of being in the market then? Very honestly. Very, very honestly, if you're in a play and you're like, nope, I'm never leaving, why the fuck are you in the play? The whole point of being in the market is to make money. The whole point of being in the market is to do this shit. It's to make money. It's to turn some money into more money, turn that money into your bank account, and then go use that money in your life to pay fucking bills. I just don't, this idea of throwing money into a play and then just being like, nope, and like just truly never anticipating a return, I don't fucking get it. And I don't think I ever will. And I don't even think they get it. I think that rhetoric picks up steam when they know that they're down and they're never going to make their money back. So I think it's more of like a comforting thing. You're like, you know what? I blew out all this money. I might as well be a troll on the internet. And that's fine. I mean, I'm a troll through and through. I love trolls. I absolutely love trolls. But what I don't like about it is sometimes these types of plays attract people to the market who they don't realize people is trolling. They don't realize that Wall Street Bets is a massive troll. They think these people are serious and they're just not in on the joke. So you have new people who are coming and they think people are serious because they don't realize they're being trolled. And then those new people who probably have like a novice knowledge of the stock market get completely steamrolled. Look at IWM. I'm in it, dude. I'm experiencing it real time. Like I said, I like it at 220. I hope this holds. There's a reason I have a golden line there. You guys know I also love 225 all the way up here. Do I think 225 will be hit today? No. I mean, of course it's possible. I think it's highly unlikely. We would have to go up an additional 2%. Once again, likely, just highly, or it's unlikely, possible though, but highly, highly, highly unlikely. All right, there's GME. There's DJT making a bit of recovery. Tesla is currently vomiting. Here, let's put up the Russell here because I probably should be watching this play. Good management would probably suggest I take a portion of the play off right now. Even a third of it, probably I should. As you can see, I have 75 calls. It would be smart for me to dump about 25 because if I dump 25, I literally, like, there's no way I lose on this. At my average fill of $1.64 is trading at 6.11. It would be smart to do that. 6.11, dude. This thing is cooking. This is cook, dude. We got some motion on the Russell. We got some motion. This guy is actually an idiot. Loser, gay bear. Hey, buddy. Can you tell me what that number is? Hey, wait. What's this number? What's this number in a day? Hey, wait, what's that? Hey, BW. No, seriously. I'm having vision problems this morning. What's the number right there? Is that $15,000 in a day? I don't know. Like, it's not coming through. It might be a stream issue today. I'm not really sure. Maybe if I switch it up. Oh, $34,000. Is that what that says? I'm having a really, really tough time reading that because it's so fucking green, you dumb fucktard. Dude, I just made what you make in a year fucking off on stream. Do you see the difference of the levels we're at there? Dude, so dumb. So dumb. This guy needs to get on antidepressants. Dude, I have about 35,000 antidepressants in front of me right now. About $35,000 worth of, like right there, 35,000. I'll count them out. Antidepressant number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to count them all the way up to 35,000. Antidepressants, dude. You're so fucking broke. You haven't made a good trade in your life because you're too stubborn. You're unwilling to learn from other people. You're unwilling to view the market from another potential position, which is detrimental. You have no one to blame but yourself. You have literally no one to blame but yourself. People are saying cash out. Why? Refresh the page. I don't know. Is it at 35 yet? Nope. Almost at 35. Almost there. Dude, some of these people, these 8 people, I think the AMC community is the dumbest community. I think they like really set the bar for stupidity. But there's other communities that are like really chasing it. They're really chasing it. What color is your Lamborghini? Dude, I'm not really like a car Lamborghini kind of a guy. I don't really like buy things. I mean, folks, I'm wearing like a Goonie shirt. I'm wearing shorts that I got off Amazon. I'm not I don't know. If I ever made like $250,000, like my mindset is never to go buy a car. If I buy a car, I'd buy a new Corolla. It's just not what I don't know. I'd rather go do something else. I'm much more of a person who would spend money on like an event, like doing something, rather than like a thing. I don't need a thing. I guess maybe the big purchase in my life would be like a house, but obviously as much as this is amazing money, it's not house money. So it'll probably just sit there in my account and hopefully I could leverage it more. I would do like a fancy dinner. Like whenever I have a big trade, I don't think it's a bad idea to celebrate. Go get yourself like a $40, $50 steak. But even that with steaks, I usually cook it myself. So I'd rather go to like a butcher, buy the steak and cook it because I feel like I could cook it better than most restaurants. Not all. Like I get that there's like fancy Michelin steakhouses and whatnot. But in most circumstances, I don't know. Oh, you know what I do like to actually celebrate is omakase, which is becoming a huge thing here in New York. It's becoming a massive, massive, massive thing here in New York. So I'll go out for like some fancy sushi, but even that's like about $80. So I'll bring my fiance, so that's like $160. That's kind of like my big expense in life, I suppose. What I am a little bit confused about is why
order submitted.
I was gonna say
target filled
with hang on, with camera. All right, so those were too slow. It was playing this breakdown right here of the super trend. Oh wait, BW, I forgot about this, that I was trading retail sales 3232323232. Forgot about that one, BW. You little crybaby. The Russell's just taking off. The Russell is just taking. Look at this. Hang on. Let me take some braggadocious screenshots, and then I need to. We need to pull a tarot card. When's the wedding date? The wedding is in October, which means that in the second half of October, we're going to unfortunately have to take a break from each other. I hope you guys don't break up with me due to it, but we will be taking a break in October. We got motion. Dude, this is wild. Wild, dude. The fact that the Russell's doing this, it's insane. It's a rotation, huge rotation. Sold my IWM calls too early. So I wouldn't say that. So remember, when you're judging a trade, I think this is a very, very important mindset thing. Never judge a trade on information you didn't have. So right now on that concept of, oh, you got out too early. Well, you never know. You could have sold and the market could have like completely tanked from there. And you could have been like, oh, I actually top ticked it. I got out like at the perfect time. So with that, You should judge it only on information you have. So was that your profit target? Because if it was, you followed your system. Great. Did it start to break down on whatever time frame you were paying attention to, and you got out because it was starting to break down?
Order submitted.
Great. You like, it's more, you can't judge it on where things go afterwards, because that's unfair criteria. It's literally information you just didn't have. So with it, all I would say is, were you early or were you late? Well, that's specifically dependent on, did you stick to your trading plan? If you stick to your trading plan, you did exactly what you were meant to do. That's all. That's all you could really say. I'm in 3 positions right now. It's playing this continuation of the breakdown. Looks like it's the breakdown of the first 15 minutes. And let's see if I could lock in a quick gain here. Let's see if I can lock in a quick gain. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Lock it in.
Order
there we
submitted.
go. Lock it in. Lock it in.
Order target filled.
And it looks like we're doubling it down today.
Target filled.
All right. We're tripling
Target
it down
filled.
today. Bada bing, bada boom. There's one
Order
more still
submitted.
open. 321. Just need to monitor all of these.
Target filled.
Well, that's a bit confusing.
Order submitted.
Take the money, brother. You're up 500. Take the money. What are you doing? Take the money. Sell it, Skynet. Skynet, you better not lose this. Why is Skynet going against me today? Why is Skynet going against me today? Skynet. All right. Why 321? What is the... No, dude, it's going to give it back. It was up so much. 321. You better not do... Skynet. What in the world? Did we have a race condition? I'm a little bit confused of why this...
Order filled.
I was going to say it should be crossing. I didn't realize there was right here. It's just this super trend. So it ended up getting out, I don't know, at break even on that final one. That was unfortunate. It was up. How can I fix that? How can I fix that I need to come up with some different logic to save it. Really, it should have been getting out here at 950
Order
instead of the
filled.
break even. But hey, it is what it is. What's happening on this one? Is it a similar situation? Nope. This one was just playing the breakdown that it unfortunately shorted it at the bottom of the day. All right, we'll see. So very quick sanity check. 5-minute bullish, 30-minute bullish, 10-minute bullish. This is all for the S&P 500. 5-minute bullish, 10-minute bullish, 30-minute bullish, daily bullish. Hard for me to bet against the S&P 500 until we see a breakdown at least in the 10. Tech sector, a little bit of a different story. The 5-minute is below the cloud, the 10-minute is below the cloud, and the 30-minute is below the cloud. So tech, once again, my big thesis of why I'm so bullish on small cap is because I believe there's a rotation from tech to small cap. As this continues to go down, I expect this to go up. As this goes up, I expect this to keep going down. Now, will it be a perfect minute to minute inverse correlation? No. I'm talking about the way we're going to stammer over the next couple weeks. So yes, I think there's days that they could both be red. Yes, I think that there's days that could both be green. It's more of the generic way that we're going to be traveling in the next couple months. Like, this is more of a medium term call out, hence why I felt much more comfortable about the Russell's medium term call out, hence why I played mid-August. But overall, so once again, I'm not saying, oh, if there's a 10-minute bar down, the other one has to be a 10-minute bar up. No. I don't think it's going to be that good of a correlation. I think the correlation is much more of in the next couple months, maybe between now and the end of the year. I think the generic way that we're traveling will be the opposite between tech and Russell. And maybe a better way to really define that would be, I think tech calms down and more so goes like just kind of choppy up and down, while I think Russell legitimately goes up. That's probably the most accurate way I really, really think this is going to play out. I don't know. All the GameStop girlies are losing their pizzazz already today. The SPY options aren't looking the best. For those of you who are curious about GameStop, it popped up and now it's just going sideways. But the reason the action, GameStop is not a short squeeze play. It's a FOMO play. And we've seen that ever since Roaring Kitty came back, that whole ordeal, ever since he posted the meme. There's short interest betting against it, but it's not some giant squeeze play. It's being driven by the options market. And we've noticed this ever since May. So ever since it popped, and then it's so obviously being driven by the derivatives market. So as soon as the faucet is on, price rockets. When it's off, it drops. It's not a squeeze play. It's just not. What's going on here? What in the world's going on here? IWM is just rocking. Hey, where's that BW guy? BW. This guy is such a douchebag, pure entertainment. Yeah, pure entertainment. I literally laugh at myself the entire way. Like, ha, 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 as I'm like carrying money bags to the bank. It just makes me laugh and chuckle the entire time. The entire time. Matt, are you having any problems getting paid from Apex? No. What problems are you having? Are you saying like the payment's not going through or something? Or I guess what problem are you experiencing? Pure entertainment. Well, that's kind of what streaming is, dipshit. It's all right. It's all right, BW. Not everyone is going to be born with, not everyone's going to have triple digit IQ. There's going to be some people like you, unfortunately, that just due to normal distribution are going to have single digit IQs. It's sad. I feel for you. But once again, this is a very, very good reminder that, folks, public service announcement, fetal alcohol syndrome is real. As much as you might like to rip some whiskey shots when you're pregnant, please understand that it has a clear impact on the brain's development. And right now in real time, we have an example of that. BW is unfortunately the poster child for fetal alcohol syndrome. And he didn't do anything. It's just the cards he was dealt. It was because his mom just really refused to stop drinking whiskey. And it's sad. It really is sad. So let's not pick on him. It's nothing of his own decision making.
Target filled.
It's not his own decision making. It's his life. It's the cards he was dealt. What is this one? What is 306? Why did it inverse? Well, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. I'm living proof. Oh, man. 281. Why did these lock in? It's a little confusing. I need to fix a bit of that. I need to break it down. All right. Where are we at? Almost at 40K.
Target filled.
I would be an insane person to not take money off at 50K. A legit, Looney Tunes crazy person. A legit Looney Tunes crazy person. Where are we? Something's going on. I'm getting some weird data. Is my data down? I don't know. I'm getting my data feed's just off over here. I don't know what's going on. I'm flying dark. I'm living proof. I jumped on IWM for one contract when you did, and I'm currently up 455, 350%. I'm riding it to the trend reverses. Thank you, Curtis.
Order
Congrats
filled.
on crushing it. Matt, I'm living proof. Texas Roadhouse is a sham company. Hey, don't you say that. Don't you say that. You take that back. There's certain hurtful things that when you put it out into the world, you can't take it back. And that's one of them. That's one of them. Be careful, man. It's sad stuff. It's sad stuff. All right. Where are we at? 11, 12, 13, 11, 12, 14, and 15. 11, 12, 14, and 15. 4 more accounts to go. 2 of them didn't hit today. 1 account blew out, and the rest all worked. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so still 4 accounts to go. Wait, what account is this? 281. 281. That's not in a trade. Why does it say it's in a trade? What in the world is happening? It's saying that I'm in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different positions. And this is saying I'm in none. I don't get what's going on, folks. I don't know. This one seems to be above my pay grade. This one seems to be above my pay grade. SPY looking a little bit weak. Q's hitting their closing value from yesterday. GME not really doing anything. Bitcoin taking a bit of a hit. DJT trying to recover from its overnight gap down. RUM also trying to recover from its overnight gap down and actually almost did it. Tesla getting hit, down 1.2%. Coinbase getting hit, down 1.9%. Nvidia getting hit, down 1.7%. Meta getting hit the least, only down 0.2%. Netflix hopefully saving itself at the red-green move, break even on the day. Apple, similar situation. Microsoft down 0.5%. Amazon up, it's green, but everything's drifting down on the intraday session. TLT, Texas Roadhouse, Boeing. Boeing, BMW, Broadcom. A little bit of a bleed in the tech world. Options, what is it? This is GME picking up slightly on options. S&P 500, not choppy, but maybe a bit of a downtrend. The Magnificent 7, a clear downtrend. Oh, wow. The Mag 7 is getting nailed right now. And if you look at the Russell, I'm actually, based on its price action, I'm surprised it's not doing a bit better. But right here, the thing that's really standing out to me in real
submitted.
time. Jesus.
Target filled.
There we go. 1. Come on. Get the other. Get the other. What is this one? 314. 314. Let's go. We have a risk at the super trend.
Target filled.
And profit taken. Nice. So 2 more to trade. 11 and 12. 11 and 12. 11 and 12. Almost done. Unfortunately, not going to have a perfect day. Like you guys saw it yesterday, I am trying out some new strategies. So the ones that already hit were the strategies I'm comfortable with. This one, I don't know what happened on 306. What happened on this one? Oh, that's a new strategy. All right, so I'm going to chop that strategy, not using that one anymore. What about 22? 22. All right. 23. What in the world? 22 and 23? How did that not work? On a day like today? On a day like today? Yeah, I gotta figure out what the fuck happened there. That's thoroughly confusing. I don't think that should have fired. Maybe it should have. Yeah, I need to figure out this one. These two should have been fine. This one was just messed up, straight up messed up. These two don't make sense to me. But we still do have two more, so I'm excited to see how these play out. Options on the Mag 7 are getting hit, and they are getting hit hard. They are getting hit. They are getting hit hard. Russell's now even giving a little bit of it back. Wow. All right. Need to wait for a little bit of confirmation. Yeah. I mean, if you were a little bit ballsy and went short on this breakdown, it paid out for me. It was still a little bit early in the day, especially reminding myself of how yesterday went. I don't want to rush anything. Like if this starts at, like, knowing my luck, if I go short right here, this is the bottom of the day and it rips anyway. So I don't know. I see that the Mag 7's getting hit pretty hard. Now even the SPY is getting hit. The 5 minute on the S&P 500 is testing its breakdown. The 10 minutes not far away, and the 30 minutes not far away either. The NASDAQ is breaking down. Golly. The old NQ. Is this just going to keep going? I feel like even if I want to take this trade, I need to be patient. I can't trace it at the bottom of the day. That just seems silly. That seems silly. I'd rather not take the trade, and if it just trends all day, whatever, I miss it. But I'd rather lower my risk and wait for some sort of bounce that ends up filling if I am going to bet against it. The only thing really green on my watch, I guess, Amazon. Amazon, is GME doing anything, or did it completely? Yeah, it never holds any gain. What do we have? Is there anything besides the small cap sector? What are you guys seeing that's green right now? Anything of interest? Is there anything with cool movement? Obviously, I think it's impressive that the small cap sector is this strong. 38. 38. SPY is just getting hit. I mean, look at how bad the Mag 7 is. If you're wondering why things are dumping, is because everyone and their grandma is selling calls and buying puts against the Mag 7. Just a vomit. Just a vomit. Oh, I mean, it's to the point that I might have to manage my one position. I am swinging the Qs. Is this just going to break down? This was kind of my risk level. I might be cutting my Q swing play pretty soon here. I'll give it a little bit of leeway. A little bit of leeway. But the old fake out had a bit of bottom. I guess we're still in this range. I just don't want to get chopped up. Are we about to break down here? If it goes below the low of yesterday, I have to cut. I have to. I cannot overstay my welcome. And I'm just going to cut it now. What is this one? A loss of 1.4. If I can get out right now. Market. How many do I have? I have 12. All right. I'm dumping my Q position. I just don't like this. I don't like this setup right here where it looks like we're about to have relative to yesterday. See how on the left and on the right, lower highs, and we're about to have lower lows. I like to be in it when it's a nice evident, like, folks, I like to trade when it's an obvious trend. But when things are getting a little bit rocky like we're seeing on the Qs, I just don't want to overstay my welcome. That's one of the nice things about being over PDT is if you mess it up a little bit, like let's say, for example, the Qs start to bounce right here and have a strong day. Oh, okay. You could always just get right back in. I'd rather just be cutting trades that are like, I think are a little bit suspect rather than like holding on to it, because just the asymmetric nature of it is like you could take a paper cut and you could get out, and then if you're wrong, you could get right back in. And granted, you have a realized loss, but it's a small loss, which is way, way better than those times that you're like, okay, I don't want to have a realized loss. So you hold it, and then it becomes a massive realized loss, and then you have to get out. or it blows you out completely. It's just the risk reward it's simply not there. So for me, just on the off chance that right here we start to break down. So obviously we went up all-time high, came down, put in an inside bar, kind of suspect. We pushed to the upside yesterday, which I was like, oh, okay. I do like that strategy of when you're breaking an inside bar, play that direction. Obviously it didn't hold, little suspect. And now we're pushing that low, which is potentially setting up a retest of 492, potentially setting up a retest of 491. If it snaps 491 this low from Thursday, I would then be looking for a fall to maybe like the mid 480s, the low 480s, something like that. And it's actually breaking right now. All right. How do I want to play this? Trade. All right. All right. All right. Patient. Just need to be patient. I'm not liking that even the Russell's taking a little bit of a hit now. I mean, dude, we're seeing a vomit. The Mag 7 still is just getting annihilated right now. Obviously, things can change on a moment's notice, but thus far, based on all the information we have, puts are being purchased and calls are being sold. If you want to see the delta together, it's just vomiting all day. Even if you're trying to buy this dip, you gotta wait until you see some sort of buyer stepping in. I'm not necessarily in love with these types of mean reversion plays, but if you're the person who plays these types of mean reversion plays, you gotta wait for some sign of strength. And right now, I'm seeing nothing but extreme weakness. Maybe you're just playing it off of the low from yesterday. I know that's a common tactic. Once again, I'm not in love with it just because I think there should be other filters on top of it, such as, oh, is the options market picking up? Which it's at least flat right now. The SPY's picking up. How's the Russell looking? Even the Russell's taking a hit right now. That's a tough one. Folks. Who knows? I'm not really doing anything yet. I'm still waiting for the final two over here to trade. Right here, these two guys. Other than that, just kind of waiting. Russell. Do we have anything else? This is I'm curious if the Qs are going to hold this. Notice how they sold directly to yesterday's close value, sliced through it, sold directly to yesterday's low value, and now we're basically trying to figure out what the real equilibrium is, as in the price, the I guess notion of the buyers versus the sellers, who's dominant, who's not, who's in control. I do want to point out to you that the 5-minute on the S&P 500 is now potentially breaking down. The 10-minute is at its test territory, while the 30-minute is still actually bullish. On the flip side, the NASDAQ is breaking down on the 5, the 10, and on the 30. If you look at the Russell, completely different story. The 5, the 10, and the 30 are all still bullish, and obviously so is the daily. So very different story between the tech sector and the small cap. And then obviously the S&P 500 is somewhere in the middle. So you know what I'll do? I'll set up some breakdown alerts just so we know if we should be paying attention to something. I haven't really made any options trades yet today because I don't know what I want to do. Maybe we bounce here, maybe we don't. Your guess is as good as mine. The only thing that matters, and it always matters, is just what's your risk, what's your reward. Shorting at this level, as in a couple minutes ago, is stupid because, like, what is your risk? Like, what level were you going to risk off of? If you're bullish, this isn't the worst time in terms of a risk reward. I'm not bullish just because I don't want to fight this trend. But if for some reason you're like, no, like I want to be bullish. I mean, buying right now and just risking the intraday low, that's minimal risk. And if it does bounce back and you're right, that's great reward. So in terms of risk reward, I don't mind it. What I do mind is that the 30-minute is clearly bearish. It's one thing if the 30-minute is still bullish and the 10 minutes battling, it's just the 5 minutes that's bearish. But when I see the 5, the 10, and the 30 all bearish, I'm not in love with that. I'm not in love when the Mag 7 vomited from 943 all the way to 1009 just straight. It's trying to show a little bit of relief right now, but I'd have to be pretty convinced to be bullish on the Qs. I'd actually more likely be bullish on the SPY, and that's just because even though we're like dipping pretty hard, it's showing a little bit of a bounce. But with that, maybe the 5-minute is going to catch itself there. Maybe the 10-minute is going to catch itself there. And the 30-minute is still bullish. So if I had to be bullish on something right now to buy the dip relative from SPY to the Qs, I would be more bullish on the SPY just because I think it has more of a fighting chance. Now, even with that being said, I'm not really bullish on any of them because I know that when I see the Mag 7 getting hit this hard, well, I know that a lot of the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100, a lot of that price movement is based on the Magnificent Seven. So if they're getting pummeled, there's a good chance that the SPY and the Qs are getting pummeled. So for me, I just don't like the setup right now. I think things are a little bit too bad to try to buy the dip and be bullish. And right now, I don't want to chase on the bearish thing just because the risk reward isn't there. And unfortunately, that's going to be most of the market on most days. Most of the market on most days is like, there's just not the opportunity. A lot of quote unquote trading is just waiting around, waiting for the opportunity. Are you going to update the swingers in Discord? If there's anything to update, I will. I'm literally explaining how I'm not doing anything right now. When there is an update, of course, that's the whole point of that channel. Mr. Matt Eyebrow Kohrs, what is the Mag 7? The Mag 7 is the Magnificent 7. It's Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, NVIDIA, and Tesla put together. All right, what else is moving today? DJT, RUM, Tesla getting hit, Coin getting hit, NVIDIA getting hit, Solana, Broadcom. Semiconductors are getting smoked today. Smoked. Didn't you sell the Qs? Yeah, I dumped it. I just did a market order. I didn't make a new position yet, but I just dumped it. I don't even know what I got out at. I market ordered it out. Let me see what my fill was. I have to go into the history. I mean, you could also do the math. It was down 1.3K, 1.4K. Transfer, nope. History. Looks like it got me a fill at 429. 429, unfortunately, because what was my average fill? Not liking the daily chart breakdown. Oh, is this about to get stomped? I wish there was a little bit more of a reversionary bounce. The 5-minute and the 10-minute are getting real suspect. Real suspect. It is 10:17. The only other thing going down today is in the afternoon. There's going to be the Fed governor, Kugler, however you say her name. She's going to be speaking. Matt, is it a good idea to chase IWM now? No. You literally just said it yourself. Chase. You should never, ever, ever be chasing. I mean, you're literally answering your own question. Should you chase? If you ever think you're chasing is a perfect way to get fucked up. It's just not worth it. And I get it. Every once in a while, you get into a trade, you chase it, and the momentum continues, and it ends up. But you have to not judge it on the. Just because you make money doesn't make it a good trade. Just because you lose money doesn't make it a bad trade. You can get into a perfect setup following your rules and still lose money. That's fine because you're looking at it over a series of many trades, the law of large numbers. Same thing with like a losing trade or like a bad trade. Yes, you could chase and you might make money, but just because you make money doesn't make it a good trade. So should you chase the Russell? Dude, do I think it's still going to go up? I have no idea. I want it to. I'm in it. But that doesn't mean you chase it. Chasing is dumb. Chasing to the upside, chasing to the downside. Chasing in the market is a dumb idea. Don't do it. We all do it. We all get a little degenerate. We all hope that it works out here and there. And you hope that the one time you're doing it, it's the exception and it works out. Blah, 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 blah. And if you do it because you're just taking a gamble that day, I do wish you the best of luck. But in terms of a profitable, fruitful, quality trading methodology, system, whatever you want to call it, it's dumb to do it. It's dumb. Over the long run, it is a dumb thing to do. All right, this is setting up in an interesting situation. What I'm looking for, maybe I need to do it on this chart. What I am looking for is maybe I should clean up this chart a little bit. I don't know why I have so many alerts. What I'm looking for is to see the height of this next bounce. If the bounce clears the intraday high, obviously this dip was to be bought and it's looking good. However, if the dip doesn't push a new high and it stalls out earlier and then we start to sell, then the question is, are we going to make a new low? So I care very much about the next high point and the next low point. The next high point and the next low point on the SPY will be setting my tune for the remainder of the day. So I want to measure, is the high higher or lower than the previous highs? Is the low higher or lower than the previous low? If the high is higher and the low is lower, I have to wait. Just because that's an expanding, broadening formation, the market doesn't really know what it wants to do. If we have a lower high and a lower low, that's bearish. If we have a higher high and a higher low, obviously that's bullish. Folks, this isn't like rocket brain science. This is just what is the trend. If you can see points going up or down, then you probably have 90% of what you need to in terms of a skill set to be a trader, in terms of technical readings. From there, the big battle is going to be just like your discipline and whatnot. My major prediction, like if I had to guess what's going to happen, and once again, 50-50 here, I think it's going to be a lower high, lower low, and at minimum, we sell off maybe to this level of 563, 120, yesterday's close. That's what I'd be looking for. That's my prediction. But once again, I'm going to trade what the market gives me, and we're going to just see how that plays out. Oh, brother bear. What is today? 16th all day? 16th all day? All freaking day? All freaking day. Okay. I'm curious because clearly the Nasdaq is not looking so hot, but the SPY is still trying to fight. The S&P 500 is trying to fight the good fight. The Nasdaq is getting rocked. The Russell is bouncing back. Where's the VWAP? Is there an ETF for just the Mag 7? Yeah, there's actually a couple of them out there.
Order submitted.
Ooh.
Target filled.
It's actually trading. On one of them. The other one, 312, 312. Let's do
Target
this. There we
filled.
go. Cool. One more to go. One more to go. That one took an awkward amount of time. One more account to trade on this. Let me switch it here. Let me switch this up so I can place my own trade. Dude, is this gonna fill? There we go. I got my trade in on the day. So hopefully everything goes according to plan and I can just take my money on this day trade and get out. Let's see though. Let's see. I was waiting for Piper to fire. I did that. I'm loading this up. Okay. Okie dokies. Did I do it right? Let me just double check that I did what I needed to. It looks like I did. Like I said, the major thing as a day trading thing, and really you could apply this methodology to whatever time frame you want. Obviously, I'm looking at the 3-minute chart, so that's more of like a day trading thing. As I showed here, we have the double top, then we sold down, made the highs and the low of the opening session. Then we push up, and I want to know the next high and the next low. Obviously, if we break the current intraday low of 5,639, that means we have a lower high. That means we have a lower low, which would then set up what I would be targeting of yesterday's closing value of 5631.2. That's my setup. And then obviously I also have well-defined risk. That's the key thing that maybe I think a lot of people like to talk about their reasoning and their profit targets, but really the most important thing is what is going to be your protection. And if this were to break down, if we were to see a new intraday low, instantaneously my risk would be whatever this recent bounce is. That would become my risk of 5646.27. So you just got to let it play out. Obviously, you might be able to get some indication by the options market, which is now weak. The MAG 7 is getting pretty weak. We are seeing the lowest delta notional value of the day on the options market. The S&P 500 is also at almost its lowest value of the day. The 0 DTE is holding, but the all expiration put together is almost at its lowest value. Interesting setup. Definitely thus far has a bit more of a bearish vibe. The 5-minute is below its cloud. The 10-minute is testing it. The 30-minute is still bullish on the S&P 500. The 5, the 10, and the 30 on the NASDAQ are all bearish. The 5, the 10, and the 30 on the Russell are all bullish. You know what we should do is add some of these fractals so we can see them in real time. So unfortunately the Russell putting in a lower high, but let's see where this next low is. Lower high and higher low. Let's see which way it breaks. When you see you have a lower high and a higher low, that's consolidation. And yeah, you could try to predict which way it's going to break. But you're going to be about 50-50. All right, cool. So patience, and while we're waiting for this to play out in one direction or another, this was the clip from this morning that I wanted to play to all of you. It's just NBC, CNN, MSNBC. These were all media conglomerates that were very supportive of Biden. But since the debate, they're doing everything in their power, at least in my opinion, to distance themselves from Biden. And it's just all of these interviews. He just needs to stop doing them.
Well, let's talk about the conversation this has started, and it's really about language, what we say out loud and the consequences of those. You called your opponent an existential threat on a call a week ago. You said it's time to put Trump in the bullseye. There's some dispute about the context, but I think you appreciate that
I didn't say
words
crosshairs. I was talking about focus on. Look, the truth of the matter was, what I guess I was talking about at the time was there's very little focus on Trump's agenda.
Yeah, the term is bullseye.
It was a mistake to use the word. I didn't say crosshairs. I meant bullseye. I meant focus on him. Focus on what he's doing. Focus on his policies. Focus on
what a freaking
the number of lies
spin
he told in the debate. Focus. I mean, there's a whole range of things that, look, I'm not the guy that said I want to be a dictator on day one. I'm not the guy that refused
I don't
to
think
accept
Trump
the
said,
outcome of the
"I
election.
want to be a
I'm not the
dictator
guy
on
who
day
said
one."
that won't accept the outcome of this election automatically. You can't only love your country when you win. And so the focus was on what he's saying, and I mean the idea.
But have you taken a step back and done a little soul searching on things that you may have said that could incite people who are not balanced?
Trust no, brother.
I don't think, look, how do you talk about the threat to democracy, which is real, when a president says things like he says? Do you just not say anything because it may incite somebody? Look, I have not engaged in that rhetoric. Now, my opponent is engaged in that rhetoric. He talks about there'll be a bloodbath if he loses, talking about how he's going to forgive all the, actually, I guess, suspend the sentences of all those who were arrested and sentenced to go to jail because of what happened in the Capitol. I'm not out there making fun of, like, remember the picture of Donald Trump when Nancy Pelosi's husband was hit with a hammer, talking about, joking about it?
This doesn't sound like you're turning down the heat, though. You've talked about the...
No. Look, what I'm turning down, we have to stop the whole notion that there are certain things that are contrary to our democracy that we're for. The idea of saying that I didn't win the election, when every court in the land, I don't know, 20 appeals said, and including this conservative Supreme Court, said we won. The idea of having a loyalty pledge from all the folks who are in a Republican MAGA, not all Republicans, the MAGA Republicans, saying that, no, we lost the election, inflaming the people and say, I mean...
So what can you and what will you do, at least things you can control, to lower down the temperature, the rhetoric out there?
It's just getting really awkward for the guy. Just getting real awkward from the guy. Anyway, that was a clip from this morning that I want to get back to and explain. All right, we can set this up. Let me set that alert up. I have alerts if we do get new intraday lows. The SPY put in its lower high right there officially. So like I said, the next key question is the next low. So here, maybe I could better explain it. How big is the fractal? Oops. Edit. All right, you can see it right there. Okay, so obviously the green parts are the highs, the red is the low. So we officially have a lower high, officially. The question is, what's the next low? And obviously to get another low below this one, it would be a new intraday low. That's exactly why I have this marked out. Small cap going flat, NVIDIA going flat, Q's catching a bit of a bid, the SPY catching more of a bid. Do I want to get out of my position? I'm seeing the SPY and the Q's pop a bit here. This is on the SPY. There's a little bit of an upswing in the options. The Mag 7 far less. I think this is just going to get smashed. Just the options market's not really supporting it. What about some of our major players? DJT flat, RUM flat, Tesla flat, trying to catch a bid, Coin flat, NVIDIA flat, Meta flat. Apple swinging up a little bit. Microsoft flat, Amazon, Texas Roadhouse. Boeing is catching a pump. Boeing's up 2.3% today. Palo Alto flat, Broadcom catching a bit of a bounce. Once again, these are all small time frame stuff, but Oh brother, oh brother, oh brother, oh brother, oh brother. All right, I want to watch that. I think what this is going to come down to is we just got to be patient and see if this is a real bounce or not. Granted, I mean, I have an opposite position. I do have on a bearish position, but I actually don't hate the concept of trying to be bullish here just because it's such minimal risk. If you are wrong, i.e. it breaks and makes a new intraday low, okay, you get out for a paper cut and you survive. And then if you're right, you get to ride it all the way back up to an intraday high. So I think I don't hate being bullish on a day trade. Obviously, I'm speaking very specifically to like the smaller time frame type of stuff. I just like that your risk is well defined and it's not that far away. Now, obviously, the SPY is bouncing a bit better, so that means that your risk is farther away, while the Qs are a bit weaker. So it's always going to be a risk to reward versus accuracy paradigm. So right now, I don't know. It looks choppy to me because I see on the S&P 500, the 5-minute is trying to save itself. The 10-minute did bounce off of its cloud, and the 30-minute has remained bullish this whole time. But on the flip side, the 5, the 10, and the 30 are all bearish on the NASDAQ. So it's the tale of two different cities here, folks. Bullish, bullish, bullish. I would say questionable, questionable, bullish. I would say leaning bullish, actually bullish, and then clearly bearish, bearish, bearish. And at that point, when we know there's so much of an important overlap between the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, and yet they're telling us completely different stories, that becomes a difficult situation. You could try to pick which one's going to lead out. Basically, either the SPY is going to return and the Qs will follow suit, or the Qs keep going down and then the SPY gets drugged with it. One of those two situations is going to play out. So right now, if you're bullish or bearish, it's basically a 50-50 bet on who you think is going to win out. And I guess to be more detailed about that, the question really is tech going to calm down? NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Meta, Tesla, Netflix, Amazon, Google, are they going to calm down, or are they going to keep plummeting? Obviously, we're seeing quite a bit of aggression in options here. It's sold heavily in the options market. Once again, this is the Mag 7, Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Tesla, which has an outsized undue impact on both the NASDAQ and also on the S&P 500. It was very bearish in the options market. The Delta Notional vomited from 943 all the way to 1010, and since then, it's been going flat. So you could try to...
Submitted.
Ooh, hang on. Am I in my final trade of the day? I am. This is the final one. Lock it in, baby.
Target filled.
Lock it in, baby. Lock it in, baby. Come on. Come on. You could do it. You could do it. You could do it. Lock it in. Lock it in, brother.
Target filled.
Bada bing, bada boom. Done. Another 200. So I did lose one account. 2 of these I have to fix the code, but unfortunately lost one of these accounts, and the rest green. Got some new accounts approved. So dunzo deal there. I don't want to keep over trading. So the best thing I can ever do is close out. Close out, close out, close out. That is the best tip I could literally give to anyone when it comes to things such as Apex with that sim to fund and stuff. Here, let me switch this over. Once again, Apex, they are the partner of today's show. If you use the code Goonie, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video, you can get 80% off. Just make sure you are using that code Goonie, Goonie, right here. Goonie for 80% off, Goonie. My favorite account, the one that I prefer, is the 50K. There are people who play it bigger. There are people who play it smaller. I just like the ratios of this 50K account the best. So once again, that's the fee to take the test. If you pass the test, which to pass the test, you need to make $3,000 in profit without suffering a 2.5K drawdown from your unrealized high. You're allowed to trade up to 10 contracts. You could trade a lot of things on the futures market, the commodity market, the futures Forex market. There's a ton of things you could trade. But anyway, this is the one I like. I'm not saying you should use it. It's just I'm letting you know because that's one of the most common questions I get is which one is my favorite. That is my personal favorite. Where are we at? So I caught maybe the double top on the Qs there, but the Russell's breaking out. So for anyone day trading the Russells, breaking out on the 3-minute right here. A little bit of a breakout alert, team. Breaking out. Let's see where this bar closes. You have about 1:45 left. If it can close there, obviously, as a day trader, I'm not day trading this, but if I did, my risk would be 220.52 and my target would be 221.87, or maybe you scale out there and let some other ones ride. I guess there's various ways you could play it, but I do want to point out that the Russell's catching a bid. I thought the Qs were about to vomit there. They didn't. They didn't. They didn't whatsoever. In fact, a little bit of a breakdown, and then and really, why is it catching itself? Why is it just not vomiting? It's because actually something better is going on in the SPY. So remember, when it comes to something like the SPY, it's not just tech. So yes, you do have tech, which you could track with XLK. Clearly not looking good. This is the tech sector of the S&P 500. It's the subsector. But there's other things, such as energy, which is looking pretty good today. Financials, looking pretty good. Utilities, looking all right. Industrials, looking pretty good. Healthcare, looking pretty good. Real estate, not going down, but also not going up. Consumer discretionary, not going down, not going up. Consumer staples, also looking pretty good. So my point here is the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, even though they have a lot of overlap, and yes, the tech sector is vomiting, which is why the Qs look weaker, when every other sector is actually going up. That's why you're seeing a bit of strength in the S&P 500. I mean, look at, and if you want just a quick guide of what these are, I have no association with FinViz whatsoever, but I just really do like their graphics. So this is the S&P 500. These are the 500 companies that are in it. And then also you can see the tech sector. So like technology is XLK. Then you have financials. Then you have healthcare. Then you have real estate, utilities, you have energy, you have industrials, consumer defensive. That was the whole list we just went through. And you could kind of see that, yes, even though tech is weak, look at the green elsewhere. So all these other ones are doing enough that they're kind of counteracting some of the negativity that we're seeing in tech. And we are at the point where tech was selling, but now it is at least going sideways. So I'm curious which way the tech range is going to break. Very, very curious. The only other thing, especially if you're just joining in now, the only other macroeconomic event, I guess, of the day, is, we'll add this, is what? Is the Fed governor is speaking, I think, at like 2:30, 2:45, something like that. Let me see. Today, 2:45. Kugler, Fed governor is speaking, 2:45 today. So right before power hour. Whoa, the SPY's popping. SPY is popping, which means that I probably need to kill my position. I'm a little bit, I shouldn't have traded my trade today. I thought I was going to be smart and front run the SPY breaking down a little bit, but apparently I was wrong. Before, when I was saying you have like that 50-50 pick, it seems like the SPY is strong enough that it's bringing the Qs up with it. Oh man, I messed this one up. Okay, what to do? Let's not go on tilt. Let's not do something stupid. Let's handle this like an adult. Well, the first thing to do is, when you're in a hole, obviously stop digging. So I'm trying to bail. Let me update this. All right. The old fake out. Is Microsoft, are these bigger players catching a bid? Microsoft a little bit of a bounce. Apple a little bit of a bounce. Where are we at? So I'm seeing the Mag 7 options are picking up a little bit with price. What about at the S&P? S&P clearly picked up there. Clearly picked up. Yeah, I was on the wrong side of that one today. Apple's turning it around. Hopefully, oops, I didn't want to do that. Hopefully the Russell holds its intraday breakout. All right, I want to watch this. I wouldn't mind. I took a bearish position on the SPY initially, right in here. I thought this was going to break down. I should have got out a little bit quicker. I gave it a bit of time. Like, I don't know. I was off by like 3 minutes with it, but I don't know. Probably cost me a couple hundred, but who knows? Maybe I could have got lucky and it could have vomited. I don't necessarily want to chase this. If I am going to go bullish, I'd rather it come down a little bit. It kind of comes back to this discussion of the higher highs and the higher lows. So we now have a lower high, but obviously the fact that we push means now relative to this, we have to have a higher high now because obviously we're above it when it broke out of whatever this is, 5646. Things are just messy right now. Because are we just going to triple top here? Is it going to run up and then cup and handle? Or is it just going to run up, get smacked, and come all the way down? So with it, I just don't think there's anything I can do. I wasn't necessarily in love with the first trade just because of this discrepancy between the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. And still, like, what if the NASDAQ just comes up and then vomits and drags the SPY with it? So for me, I think the only thing I can realistically do is just I have to just wait. And I still have exposure. Obviously, I still have that huge position on the Russell right here that I'm still in. I would love for it to push 221.50. Would love for it to push 222. And we'll see. We'll see. I hate trading when there's two situations that I really, really hate. One, when you have a broadening formation, when you have higher highs and lower lows, that makes it incredibly difficult to identify whatever the current trend is. It makes it incredibly difficult. The other thing that I hate is when the SPY and the Qs are on opposite ends of the spectrum. Massively hate that. Massively, massively, massively hate that. Oh, man. I don't know what to do. I wouldn't mind playing this breakdown, but then am I just going to get steamrolled again? The Qs are weak. The SPY is strong. I hate this mismatch. I guess, what are your thoughts? Any insights from the crew? Any insights whatsoever? Is the SPY going to lead the Qs up, or are the Qs going to drag the SPY down? I guess we could look in the options market. Right away, the SPY started selling again, even on that pop. The Qs, similar situation. The Mag 7, similar situation. The Russell is flat. Jobs, children, security. I don't know what that has to do with this market, but we'll see. Maybe it's due to lack of tarot card today. Maybe that was like my big mess up. Maybe my big mess up was lack of tarot. What are we doing? What are we doing, man? The market needs to speak to us, speak through us. You know what? There is one more thing I can check for. Hang on. I forgot that I have one more thing I could check. Hopefully I'm not missing out on an opportunity, though. One more thing I can check. All right, let's see the magnets of the market today. Seems like it's taking a second to load. That's not loading. That's not loading. Dude, I am having data issues today. 5650 is the target, which is, I believe, where we're at. 5660 is a magnet, and 5630 is a magnet. Is this the balance that should be shorted? Oh, this is a tough call. I hate it. Just all bullish, all bearish. The Qs are getting knocked again. The SPY maybe getting knocked. At least the Russell's holding. At least I can be excited about that. Well, I guess at this point I reasonably shouldn't set up a breakout. Oh, actually that push did make a new intraday high on the SPY. Very, very briefly, but a new high nonetheless. Maybe the SPY is going back for it now. Maybe. Apple. Let's do this 5 minutes. Russell holding its breakout. The SPY looks like it wants to push again, but the tech sector still clearly lagging behind. 5660, interesting. The market, the dealers for the options market are net sellers at this level. I find interesting. All right, well, while we're waiting for either the SPY to break out and drag the Qs with it, or vice versa, for the Qs to break down and drag the SPY with it, or just to see if the Russell keeps going, you guys did send in a couple reacts. Oh, actually, before we get to the reacts, there's one thing that I saw that I just thought was the funniest take on when you're looking for the all-time worst financial leader commentary, quotes, or anything like that, I found it. This is from Kathy Wood, who runs ARK Invest. This is the most insane take. As a result, our trading-related capital tax losses should offset trading-related capital tax gains for years, an underappreciated asset associated with our strategies. What? The strategy of losing so much so quickly that you don't even have faith in your future gains to counteract it? Truly insane. We lost so much money, we'll never pay taxes again. That's exactly what you want to hear from your own money manager. I thought this was fake, and then I realized it's beyond real, and it kind of made me want to cry. I just thought that was absolutely hilarious. Wanted to share it with all of you. What is this one? How big the Magnificent Seven has become. The Magnificent Seven's market cap is higher than any non-US stock market in the world. The group is now worth 15.7 trillion, almost double China's stock market value at 8.7 trillion. It is also worth nearly as much as the German, Canadian, UK, French, and Indian stock market combined. Apple, Nvidia, and Microsoft each are worth more than the German and Canadian markets. To put this in another perspective, the total US stock market is worth 50 trillion, just 3 times more than the Magnificent Seven. Big tech is massive, which also means if big tech starts to take a hit, if the bubble starts to pop, if it starts to be not so bueno, look for everything to tumble and tumble aggressively. The SPY continuing up. Qs are continuing up. We'll see. We'll see how this plays out. What was that? The SPY. Had to be the SPY. SPY new intraday high. Golly. Oh, how's this going to break? What are we doing today? Patience. I don't think there's anything. I wouldn't rush anything right now. This mismatch is not so good. Traders see the odds of a Fed rate cut by September at 100%. Shane Gillis as Trump is hilarious.
Oh my God! Wait, what are you guys? Unbelievable moment. Oh, you do not look good, Joe Biden. Sit down. It's one of those moments we will never forget. Oh, there's the lovely Heidi, everybody.
Oh, hey. What a great lady. I talked to her backstage, and wonderful woman. The tits are real. Excuse me. A lot of people are saying her tits are fake. They're not fake. I touched them. And great tits, wonderful tits, American tits. And that's the thing that we've lost under this administration. Where are the American tits anymore?
Oh my God. Wait.
So wild. So wild. Morning Joe hosts are fuming as MSNBC for pulling them off the air over July 13th. We were very surprised and disappointed. They said they'll quit if this happens again. What?
I wanted to briefly talk to our friends and viewers that watch us every day, and talk about what happened yesterday. We were told in no uncertain terms on Sunday evening that there was going to be one news feed across all NBC News channels yesterday. The Today Show would be Lester Holt, other people that you worked with on Sunday, and that was going to be one news feed across all NBC News channels, that we were going to stay as a network in breaking news mode throughout all day yesterday. That did not happen. We don't know why that didn't happen. Our team was not given a good answer as to why that didn't happen, but it didn't happen. We were also told it was going to happen throughout the day. And I guess after there was such a strong blowback about yesterday morning, I guess they changed their plans. And so those plans changed as well. So it didn't. We've talked about it off the air. We'll talk about it on the air because we talk about everything on the air. We were very surprised. We were very disappointed. And if we had known that there wasn't going to be the one news feed from NBC News across all NBC News channels, Willie, we obviously would have been in yesterday morning.
Yeah, I was here up early on Sunday morning with NBC's
Is this
coverage.
a real
Savannah
human?
and I led the coverage on Sunday in the immediate aftermath, talking to eyewitnesses, talking to officials about what happened. Obviously suited up and ready to go for yesterday morning on a big morning, and we're told that something else was going to be broadcast. So we are here today, going through a lot, catching up a little bit, but we want to be here for our audience, and we know you trust us, and we have ultimate respect for you guys. So we are here today. I wish we'd been here yesterday.
Yeah, we all wish we would have been here yesterday. We still would like to figure out exactly why there wasn't that one news feed.
And I think the reason why is this show began and continues 17 years later on being the place where you can go to have the hard conversations in a civil way. And so it seemed like now more than ever is a time that we would like to be on. And I think our viewers agree with that. So we continue. We are 5 minutes past the top of the hour.
No, and let me just say, next time we're told there's going to be a news feed replacing us, we will be in our chairs.
We'll be sitting here.
Yeah, and the news feed will be us, or they can get somebody
We'll
else
be sitting here
to host the show.
Well, that's a vibe. That's definitely a vibe. Hang on one quick second. You guys might have just heard that ding. I think another order did get filled for me. It did. It did. Hang on. It did. All right. Filled. I just want to make sure this is actually filled. Nope, that's not a position. Here's a position. Oh, what mess did I get myself into now? Oh, Tonto. What am I doing? I should have pulled a tarot card. We'll see. If you're in the Discord, I just put my trade in. But in the meantime, for all you cool cats and kittens, let's see what the reacts were. All right, what did you guys send in? Breaking. Joe Biden just said Barack Obama asked him to be vice president in 2020. In 2020, when Barack asked me to be his vice president, I joined him. The 20-minute interview had more than 87 edits in it just in the first 5 minutes, so they still could have saved Joe.
In 2020, when Barack asked me to be vice president, I joined him, which is a great honor. And but after that, I became a professor at the University of Pennsylvania. In 2020.
After that, he became a professor. What a storied history our current president has. We will likely reach 36 trillion in national debt by the end of this year. Interest on national debt during June was $140 billion. Like, as in, that's just what we're paying, the interest on top. So we are already running way above 1 trillion per year in interest on debt. Holy crap. That is, well, even the Fed chair says it. It's truly unsustainable. This is that chick, the Catch Me Outside, I think, reveals she made $57 million in 3 years on OnlyFans. The Catch Me Outside girl made $57 million in 3 years? And that's net? She actually grossed $71 million? Bro. Dude. I need to start an OnlyFans. She grossed $71 million? Do people know that you could get this type of content for free? What? That's a lot of dinero. Tesla owners will have the ability to turn their cars into robo-taxis. Technically, your car will earn money for you. It's like Uber, but the car drives itself. When they can pull this off, which I don't think is anytime close, I think it'll be the thing that really sends Tesla to becoming the world's most valuable company. I truly believe that. I don't have a short time horizon for that at all. I think it's going to take some serious time, but I think we could legitimately see that happen. Grocery stores are now allowing customers to buy gun ammo through vending machines. What?
Some grocery stores in Oklahoma are now letting you buy ammunition from a vending machine. To make the purchase, a customer scans their ID and then facial recognition software checks to see if the face matches the ID. American Rounds is the name of the company behind it. They say the machines are built to comply with any state or federal rules. Now, the machines are only in a few states for now, but they do have plans to expand soon. Some grocery stores in Oklahoma.
Hopefully they buy some Snickers first so they're not hangry when they're buying ammo. That's wild. Bro mad because he doesn't speak meow. My girlfriend does not like money. Wait, what?
Okay, so this is how much my girlfriend hates money. She bought a book called Meow, right? You would think like, oh, maybe it's a story about a cat or something, right? So she wants to read a story about a cat. You know what? No, that's not what this book is. This book, every single word in this book
just meow.
Says meow. Every single page, the introduction, the everything is meow. What are you reading? Like, how much money was this book? Okay, so this is how much my girlfriend...
I'd buy that. It's a good talking piece. It really can bring together a living room. That's funny. I also want to know who the genius is that made that. It looks like they even had formatting. They're like, all right, this is a good paragraph. This is the new chapter. Hey, pretty ingenious idea in all reality. All right, what are we doing? Russell almost at a new intraday high. The SPY did hit a new intraday high, taking a bit of a breather, and the Qs put in a lower high, and now it's all going to come down to 494. It's all going to come down to 494, folks. When in Rome. All right. I have this breakdown alert on. Oh, where are we at? Let me check in on this. Let me see where we're at. How is the position? Holy fuck. It's now up over $40,000, $21K alone today. What a freaking day. 40, that's fucking so wild. This is, everyone shut up. Oh, the SPY's bouncing back. Everyone shut up. This is why trading's awesome. This is why trading is absolutely awesome. Why do I have multiple? Oh, so the Russell hit a new high and so did the SPY. Actually, why did I move that? Trading is so awesome because you never freaking know. You never know if you're randomly going to make 42 grand for playing a game on your computer where numbers go up and numbers go down. Let's not act like this is some sort of like, oh, I understand the financial puzzles of the economy. No, shut up. We all know this is a degenerate game with low quality graphics and numbers go up and numbers go down. It's called the up-down game. Yeah, you could call it the stock market. Yeah, you could call it the options market, the futures market, the crypto market, the Forex market. Yeah, you could call it whatever you want. But the name of the game is numbers go up and numbers go down. Can you pick the right numbers? What? That's the coolest game ever. Yeah, I've played other fun games. Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Tic-Tac-Toe. Those are all great games. But numbies up and numbies down is the dude, that is the game to play. I'm telling you, folks, this is the really psychologically addicting part of trading. Is when you have one trade and it's in your brain, or like right now, you guys are seeing this and you see other people do it. There's that little thing. You're like, dude, I wonder if that could ever happen to me. It's like, it's the same psychological principle of like why people buy lottery tickets. Cause you're just like, oh, but like, I know it's hard, but like, I know it's rare, but what if I was the person that won that? And that's the thing, is you're always chasing the moments like this where your brain is just getting so fucking floated like with dopamine, man. You're just so like, right now my brain is in an absolute bath of dopamine of just like, oh, you did it. You won the numbers up, numbers down game. Numbies up, numbies down, dude. It's about to cross 43. We're $14 away from going. That's fucking nuts. That's absolutely fucking nuts, man. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yep, new high. Did it cross it? Is it going to update it? What's breaking out now? On the flip side, my other trade is not looking so good. My other trade. I keep betting against the SPY when in reality I should just bet against the Qs. I don't know what I'm doing. You won at the world. That's what it feels like, dude. It feels like, I assume this is the same just dopamine shot that people get at the casino when you like win it on, I don't know, any of it. When you hit blackjack, when you flip aces, when you, I don't know. It's definitely addicting. It's definitely fucking nuts. Is it going to cross 43? Show me the money. 43. 43.4. Dude, this might be 50K today. Do you know how fucking disgusting that is? Is it like, there's so many things wrong with this, like across the board, that this is even a thing that can be done. Like, I don't know, man. It's truly the most wild game ever. The fact that you can make this money, inherently, that means you could also lose this money like as easily. And then when you like put it into perspective of like people right now in real time in this country, probably my neighbors are like hurting to pay their next bill. Like it's just so fucking wild. It's just so high octane. If there were something in this world that was the fast and furious embodiment of money, it's the stock market, man. It's just so fucking high octane. I don't think it makes people good people either. Is this a day trade? No. Remember, big money is a function of time. In 95% of scenarios, to make big money, you need time. I'm not saying all the time, because of course you could catch an absurd 0 DTE, and if you play it big, yeah, you could have a big like return and all that. But the real professionals, they all know that big money, big returns, it's a function of time. I mean, basically, so on any given day, you could have played the Russell at open and close, and you would have had a nice gain. You would have had a nice gain. You would have had a nice gain. Well, small gain. You would have had a nice gain. You would have had a nice gain. Do you know what the biggest gain is, though? Getting in here and then riding the whole thing, because look at all the overnight gaps up in your favor. So there's just big returns most of the time. Not all of the time, but most of the time are very much a function of time. That's just how this works. If you want big gains in a realistic way where you're not just like purely lucky, you're going to have to be in the play for a bit. You're going to have to be in the play for a bit. That's just how it works. It's just how it works. Fuck, I think I have to cut my other play. Speaking of one winning trade, I'm losing vision on the fact that this other play is destroying me right now. Fuck. All right. All right, I'm cutting my other play. Where was it? Hang on, I'm trying to update this. Goonie trades, thick trades. Not my day. I'm fighting the tape, and the tape's winning, folks. I'm fighting the tape, and the tape is winning. How do I want to play this? That might have been the buy of the day. 11 a.m. might have been the position to go long on SPY and Qs, because you have the ability to risk 562.89. You have the ability to risk 494.55. So on this push back to the upside, so I was playing it a little bit early. I was like, oh, this might be the short of the day, kept going. And then as soon as it pushed back, I should have cut much more quickly and played with the current trend, because now the 5 minutes bullish, the 10 minutes bullish, the 30 minutes bullish, the 5 minutes attempting to go bullish, the 10 minutes attempting to go bullish, and the 30 minutes attempting to go bullish. So right now, in my breakdown of who's going to win, either the SPY is going to win or the Qs are going to win, I was betting that the Qs were going to win. And my reasoning for that was how much weakness I saw in the Mag 7. But the weakness didn't persist. It's just calming down. It's just going sideways. And then what is persisting is, look at this pop in the SPY. The SPY, like, they're just pouring in right now. Fuck, I messed that one up. I took a 50-50 bet, and it just did not. It did not go in my favor, mi amigo. It did not go in my favor. The daily chart is looking really ugly on the Qs. We wick above the previous high. We wick below the previous low. The daily chart on the Qs is a mess up. There's no real clear trend right now. Honestly, I think the best move is just to avoid the Qs. The SPY looks like it's going for a new all-time high, and the Russell is just absolutely fucking dominant. Absolutely fucking dominant. Well, I'm liking that. Where are we at now? Should be a bit higher. 45. We're getting to that money point. We're getting to that big money point. Oh, how do I want to play it? Is there any way I can salvage this other play? Maybe not. Maybe today's just not my day over there. Maybe not. Maybe not. Why not play puts on the Qs? Why would you play puts on the Qs when it just made a higher high and the SPY's popping? Well, also, I don't know your time frame. I'm assuming you mean 0 DTE, but you're fighting, it's trending up. Why would you play puts? Folks, there are very good mean reversion types of trades out there and methodologies, but in the most general sense, your life is going to be way, way, way easier if you trade with the trend. 5 days out, why? It's not doing anything. Why would you play a 5-day DTE put when it's not trending? By definition, we're trending nowhere. So why not just wait for the breakdown or the breakout and play that direction? Why would you try to front run it? We're literally going sideways for 3 days. Look at where we closed on all three of these. We're going nowhere. And you want to play puts, you're just probably going to get steamrolled. Wait for the direction. If anything, I would have been, more receptive to that idea when we were breaking down, but we're not breaking down. It would have been one thing if you were saying this when we were breaking 494. Obviously, you maybe front run it and you get lucky and it does keep vomiting, or maybe you front run it and like now you get unlucky and it bounces right off of it. But at the current moment, based on the current information, you can't do anything with the Qs. Literally nothing is happening right now. You cannot do shit with the Qs. You could be bullish on the SPY, higher highs, higher lows. You could be bullish on the Russell, higher highs, higher lows. But the Qs, like, it's just wildly different. So all of a sudden, to want to get puts when the SPY is ripping, man, it's just, it would be rare for it to work for you. It'd be very rare for it to work for you. Anyway, speaking of that conversation, I'm going to go trade for the rest of the day in the Discord. So I hope to see you there. MattKohrs.locals.com. It's in the description of the video. You could join for free. You sign up for Locals. If you use that code Goonie, you need to be a premium member, and you could be a premium member for free by using the code Goonie. So if you're interested in my breakdown of why I'm getting my plays, how I'm handling it, other people's thoughts, previous lectures, if you are basically looking to surround yourself by like-minded traders, the Goonie Trading Discord is the perfect place for you. And just to put my money where my mouth is, that's why the first month is free. So that's what I have for you. Join up. Shout out to Apex for sponsoring today's stream. If you want to do that futures trading with someone else's money, like the stuff that I do, check it out. I think you're actually going to enjoy it. Use that code Goonie as well. I try to make all my codes Goonie. Sometimes it's Matt, sometimes it's Kohrs, but most of the time it is Goonie. That's what I have for you now. We'll be posting content later on today, and then we're going to be streaming once again tomorrow morning. I hope to see you there. Best of luck in the markets for the remainder of the day. I hope you crush it. I hope you make a ton of money. Love you all. Peace.